Hey, y'all. This your girl, Tanetta. Uh-oh, Lord. I'm here for the video today, I put it that way. I'm now actually leaving one of my caregiver support groups that I facilitated. And I, of course, just wanted to my water keeps falling over, y'all. But I wanted to, of course, have this conversation with y'all, too. I guess I put it that way. The conversation about how much and what do you tell others who you need help and support from when you're caregiving for, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm actually looking at traffic too, but when you're caregiving for somebody, we know that you'll need the help, the love, the care, the support of your own as well in order for you to get through that. So what do you end up telling people? How much do you bring them in on? Like I said, that's the conversation today. So, because I know how important this conversation is. We have it all the times. And most of my support groups, I guess I put it that way. Ooh, goodness gracious, okay. We have it a lot. And the reason why I'm bringing this up today is because, like I said, the conversation when it comes to, of course, your kids, just for instance, you're caring for your partner, your husband or your wife, y'all got kids. Do you shelter your kids from that conversation, or do you shelter your kids from what's going on? Or do you share with them exactly what's going on so they can be there to support you too? And I say share the information with them to let them know what's going on so they can be there to support you. If I'm a woman taking care of my husband, I'm going to need that support. Even if I'm a husband taking care of my wife, I'm still going to need that support. I'm not going to, yes, I understand the thing about sheltering your kids and allow them to, of course, live their lives and that kind of thing, which is fine and dandy. But who is there to help shelter and help you? Especially if that's all the support system that you have. The way I see it, our kids, I'm not talking about little kids, at least somebody over the age of 18. Well, maybe a teenager can help too. 15, 16, I know they can help because I used to help. But one thing I want you all to realize is that when you're in a position, you're having to caregive for somebody, and you're having to do this 24 hours a day, and you have no outlet, and you're getting stressed, and you're getting depressed, and you're getting burned out, you're going to need somebody to come in to relieve you and to provide that support for you. There's nothing wrong with your kids coming to do that. Your grown kids coming to do that. Teen or grown kids coming to do that. There's no reason why you cannot share the information with them to let them know what's going on with their mother or their father. Because they want to know too, for one. I know how it feels to, of course, have all the adults around you talking about the illness and what's going on and what's happening. But because you're the younger person or the kid, leaving you out of that conversation. That leads people to feel like they're not needed and that you don't even respect them enough to even tell them what's going on with their own parent or their own family member or whoever it is. They don't want to be left out. They want to know and see how they can help too, usually. But you have to tell people that. Like I said, yes, I understand about not wanting to them to, I guess, have that that same burden that you have and take care of your husband, your wife, your loved one, whoever it may be. But sometimes it has to get to that point because you need the help too. Who's going to be there for you to help you take care of your life and to not burden you so much on your own life? If I'm saying that right. You need their help and their support too. Yes, it can come from your kids, your young adult kids. Yes, it can come from concerned and caring neighbors. Yes, it can come from other family members, cousins, aunties, uncles, whoever else is around. Family, friends. I heard so many times from caregivers that they don't want to burden somebody else with what's going on in their household, so they don't tell nobody. While they sitting up here struggling, depressed, ready to take themselves out or fall out because of a heart attack, that they are scared to even tell these folks what's going on. We should never get to a point about that. And like I said, I know it's not just about caregiving, it's about any other situation as well, but caregiving is what I'm talking about because I had just left a support group that I facilitated. And like I said, these things come up all the time. So how much do you share with people? I'm one that's going to share everything with you because I know I need the support. I know I'm going to need the help at some point. I can't do this by myself, and you can't do this by yourself either. You're going to need people there. You're not putting the burden on somebody that wants to actually help you. If somebody's telling you that they want to, whether they're your kid, your family member, your friend, your neighbor, whoever it is, if somebody's telling you that they want to be there and help and support, why not tell them what's going on? Obviously, they want to help you. I know we seem to think that nobody else can take care of our loved one or clean the house like we can. That's a doggone lie, but there are folks that can take care of our loved one and, of course, keep the house clean and keep everything in order better than we can. We're so stressed out with all the stuff that's going on, we can't even think straight half the time. Can't get enough sleep, can't get enough to eat, or can't get the right foods to eat. I guess I put it that way. Constantly running and running and running, and who's going to be there to help you? So why are you not sharing the information that you need to share with your loved ones so they can come out and help you deal with this caregiving situation? There should never be a situation where I know many where somebody's caregiving for somebody on their own. That village yes, it takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes a village to, of course, to assist somebody in their old age as well, and to caregive for somebody as well. We don't talk enough about death and dying and getting old. Yes, I know it's a fact that we're all going to be dead one day and of course get old one day. Unless for some reason, God willing, that doesn't happen. But God willing, it will happen. We are going to go through the old age process and all these types of things. At some point, we have to understand that there's a process to everything. There's a process to life. We live and we die, but there's all this stuff in between. So why aren't we talking about this? I know it's a taboo topic. Nobody wants to talk about. I see it every single day. And I know how important these conversations are about growing old, death, and dying are. Because we're all going to face it at some point in some type of way. And I know a lot of folks, of course, is stigmatized with this and that. We put the stigma up there. We are the people that they're talking about. If you're not talking about these conversations and having these conversations regularly with your family, your friends, or that type of thing, then we're the ones who are holding that stigma to be in place. We're the people that they're talking about, or that I've said who's holding the stigma, or who got these stigmas, or who's not telling this information. Then we're doing that. And we're not even having these conversations with our loved ones at all. There's no reason why we cannot have these conversations with our loved ones. I know that growing old, death, and dying, nobody wants to hear about it. But like I said, we're all going to face it at some point. We're all going to have some kind of illness, whether it's high blood pressure, diabetes, dementia, any of those kind of illnesses, cancer. Somebody we know is going to be afflicted with those things, unless we already know them. I know some in my life. Those things can take us out of here in a moment's notice. But we have to be willing to, of course, to figure out what is going on, for one, with our loved one, but of course, share that information with folks who can help us. Caregiving it's a lot. It's a 24-hour job that you don't get paid for at all. It takes a toll on you mentally and physically. So who's going to be able to help us? I guess to bail us out when we need help. So we got to have these conversations, y'all. I'm not one of those people who had this and had that and don't tell what's going on outside of our house, which I heard that kind of stuff growing up. Nobody needs to know that so-and-so suffered from mental illness or got cancer or whatever the case may be. Or nobody needs to know that somebody's mother or father getting abused. Nobody needs to know that somebody's on drugs. In the long run, that hurts us in the long run. Keeping secrets always hurts you in the long run. These things should be talked about. They're hurting the ones who don't talk about it. And like I said, I can't tell you how many times I've talked to many caregivers who are taking care of their loved ones, and they're sitting up here hurting inside because their life is in shambles because they can't figure out what to do next, or how to do the things, or how to find the resources, or who's going to come here and provide me some respite so I can get a break. I done told these people they need no help, so now what? Who going to help me now? You don't know everything at all. Nobody knows everything. We all need help at some point. Why not allow somebody to help you? There's no reason why we have to sit up here and be so stressed out like that, thinking that we know everything. We know how to take care of our loved one best. We know how to clean up our own house best. While that may be the case to some people, a lot of folks, there's other professionals who can step in and do it better and provide you that respite and that assistance and that time away so that you can get yourself together. Like I said, there's no reason why we shouldn't be having these conversations. And like I said, me being a social worker, I'm a certified life coach as well. I'm going to be having these conversations with y'all on videos like this, because there's no reason why we cannot share this information with people that love and support us. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to many caregivers. Do you know at a certain point, if you're dealing with somebody that has memory loss, at a certain point, if these people are not understanding how to sign a form or what the documents mean, that kind of thing, they cannot legally sign any damn thing. So that means when it comes time for you to place them into a senior living facility or a care home or even the hospital, suppose it's a mental health illness, you have to have a power of attorney for that. You cannot control somebody else's life without certain legal documents. And if you don't already have them documents in place, then what you gonna do when it comes time for that? We deal with this a lot. Hiring an attorney to do a guardianship and our conservatorship, that is more than $10,000 for that just one little video hearing. But actually just when we get the process started. A lot of us don't have $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 just laying around for some court hearings in order to get some legal control over the situation to place our loved one if we need to. And to make the end of life care decision for our loved ones if we need to. We have to get smarter with these things. We have to start having these conversations now. Those are documents that you can sign right now for free. Wills, trust, if you want to include that, if you got assets and all that type of stuff, you want to include that too, then you may, well, for an attorney, you will need that for an attorney, but it won't cost as much when you get older. And when you're, like I said, if you have somebody that has dementia, memory loss, somebody that can't think for themselves anymore, they can't sign documents. So what you gonna do then? It's best to have those documents and those types of things already done, y'all. Those are the conversations that we have to start having. How else are we gonna make these things happen? What is that? Lord, what's going on? I got a bell going off, child. I don't know what's going on. Something wrong with my car. I don't know what happened, y'all. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, I don't know what's happening. A bell was going off in my car. Y'all, I'm looking around trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Because I had a bell going off in the car, and I'm not sure what the bell is. Oh, my. Somebody out there know, tell me, please. I don't see nothing going on my dashboard, so I'm not sure what's happening. Okay, y'all. I don't know what's happening, but something's... I don't know what is happening, actually. I really... Oh, because I have all my stuff in the seat. I guess they think it's a passenger. Because the seatbelt ain't on. Lord, I'm in the car alone. Okay, now. Unless there's a ghost. But there's my purse and the water bottle and this darn notebook. I guess it's too heavy. Okay, that's okay. It's okay, y'all. Because I didn't know what the heck was going on. But let's get back to this situation. About death and dying. And like I said, growing old. I was talking about the documentation, like the powers of attorney, the durable power of attorney, the living trust and all those, the living wills and all those types of things, the mental health power of attorney. We have all those forms here in most states. We should have those, or a variation of those forms. Those forms are easy for y'all to go ahead and fill out right now while y'all still have sound mind. And I'll go over those forms another day, I guess, in more in depth, so you all can kind of like know what they are. But just keep in mind that you can do those forms now. You don't have to wait. Those are conversations that you can have with your kids, your other family members, and your loved ones. Just in case somebody does get an illness where they can no longer talk, think, or have any memory left. That'll save you a lot of money in the long run as well. And a lot of turmoil and confusion. We have got to, like I said, have those conversations, y'all. There's no reason why we cannot have these conversations. Growing old is going to happen to all of us. Why not? You cannot 100% prepare for anything, but you can start getting as prepared as you can. I guess I put it that way. And the first thing, like I said, is making sure your documents are in place, but also making sure that you have the support system around you, especially if you're a caregiver. Somebody has to come and relieve you at some point of your duty so that you can take care of yourself, attend your own doctor's appointments and all those types of things. If somebody's there in your presence and they're trying to figure out how they can help you, you're not putting a burden on them. There's not a burden. They're helpers. They're there to help. And that's what they're asking to do. Let them help. Like I said, this is just a conversation. I know it's very taboo. A lot of folks don't want to have. It's scary to think about death and dying. And yes, it's scary for me too. But as I see all these people's lives play out and the things that can happen when you don't have your legal documents in place to know what to do with this person when they become incapacitated, meaning that they can no longer make decisions for themselves. I know I've seen those situations of what happens when you don't have documents in place. We have got to prepare for these things, y'all. That form takes about if you want to read the whole thing, about an hour. Add some stuff to about an hour or 2 hours at the most. All those forms. But when you're going through legal proceedings, you can come out of about $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 just to get a guardianship over an adult that can no longer think for themselves. We shouldn't have to do that, y'all. We should already have those things in place. Like I said, nobody wants to talk about death and dying. I understand that. It's a hard-ass conversation to have, but we got to have that conversation. I can't tell you how many times I done sat here and watched not just loved ones, but clients and other folks. Somebody's dying. They have no idea where the will is, or the paperwork is, or their birth, anything is. Where their life insurance, they have no idea where it's at, or they ain't got none. They ain't got nothing in place. When the hell are we going to start preparing, y'all? Whether it's a hard conversation to have, divorce is a hard damn conversation to have. Buying a house is a hard conversation to have. Marrying somebody that you don't know all the ins and outs of is a hard damn conversation to have. So when are we going to start having this conversation about death and dying to make sure that we're protected as well as we move through our aging process, I guess I put it that way. When are we going to start having these conversations, y'all? Okay, people, things, stop going off now. Jesus, pieces. All right. So like I said, when are we going to start having these conversations, y'all? They should happen way sooner than later. Bring your kids in on this conversation. It's not like kids don't know that at some point they're going to die too. They see plants die and animals die all the time. When your child's old enough, at least 10, 12 years old, start having these conversations with them. The reason why I say that, you're their parent. You're getting, of course, older as well. They need to know what's going to happen and take place as you age and as they age too. You're going to age way before them. They're going to need to know where your documents are. They're going to need to know how to get resources and information to help you, help take care of you. They're going to need to know what care homes are out there that they can even call to get some help from just in case they need to place you there. They're going to need to know who to call to get some caregivers in the house to help them help you. They're going to need to know some information about if dementia is running rapid, cancer and all these kind of things are too. They're going to need to know what these symptoms look like so they can know how to recognize them in order to tell your doctor what's going on. There's no reason, no, you don't have to have a whole education plan for the rest of your life about death and dying and growing old, but at least have some information for them every once in a while about what's going on, how life progresses. That's to me an easy conversation, but because we're all going to progress in this life, period. We all can't stop the progression. We're not vampires. So it is, like I said, it's best to start your kids early, just like when I talk about sex and relationships. Start them talking about those kind of things early so they can know what to expect. So they can know what's happened to their bodies. So that they can know how it feels or when something's not going right, that they're being taken advantage of and that they need to seek assistance or police or call their parents or get help. We wait so long to have these conversations about certain things, death, dying, relationships, molestation, all these types of things. We need to let people know ahead of time that these things are out here in this world and that you need to be on the lookout for these things. Not to be paranoid, no. But if they don't know what's going to happen, somebody needs to educate these people. Everybody's not working in a place like me. Or everybody's not working, looking online at videos talking about death and dying and that type of thing at all. Most folks are looking for fun stuff or travel stuff or whatever the case may be. But we need to make sure that we're looking at the stuff that matters as well. And that's going to matter in our life. In all of our lives. Nobody, like I said, can stop aging at all. Nobody can. Unless you get bitten by the little man in the Vampire Twilight movie. Other than that, you still got to live out your life. And if you're not talking about these things, what can happen to me as mom or or you as dad, that kind of thing, to your kids too, your family and that kind of thing, who the hell gonna take care of you? That's why we have family and our kids growing up not wanting to take care of mom and daddy because they can care less at this point. Nobody even talking about it, so what's the point? They can take care of themselves, they always have. They took care of me so they can take care of themselves. And we all know that that's not the case. When you get older, you're going to need your kids and other folks to step in to help you. If they don't know or don't care, then what? We have to do our part to educate these people too. So they can, of course, care and have concern and have compassion for folks who are growing old. Not just to make fun of them and call them dumb old asses or whatever the case may be. Like I said, that's on us. Yes, while we have an education system and all these types of things, they ain't going to teach our kids that. We have to teach them that at home. The education system don't teach our kids anything that they really need to know, besides how to pass tests and how to do well on tests. That's honestly about it. They don't teach them about life. We have to do that. Where do you think all that stuff comes from? If you ain't telling your kids and telling your family about what's going on and all these kind of things, ain't nobody else going to teach them. Who you think going to teach them? Life is really going to teach them, I guess. But then by that time, they can probably win it, because I see it happen all the time. My kids don't care. They don't come check on me, all this kind of stuff. You haven't made it a priority in your life to let them know what's going on about about growing old. They need to know that too, so they can be able to help you when you get older. Not just you helping your partner and that kind of thing, which yes, that's what this video is about. But still, we have to educate these people, y'all. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to many caregivers who haven't told their kids what's going on. They have no idea Papa has dementia and all this kind of stuff. They need to know what's going on in the household. We should have gotten past this point a long time ago of keeping secrets in the house, that so-and-so can't know about so-and-so, and so-and-so can't know that so-and-so has a drug or dementia problem, or whatever the case may be. We have got to get over that stuff, because that is hurting us. There's many times I've said this in video. Probably not in this way, but I've said it many times. Those secrets and those things that we don't want to talk about, we're so ashamed of or we're embarrassed about, they hurt us. We have to talk about these things to get the help and the support that we need, y'all. And I need to go ahead and get out this car, y'all, too. So I'm going to end this video. As soon as I get off my thing, I'm going to have to go ahead and end this video. But like I said, I hope that y'all are hearing what I'm saying. You have got to start having these conversations about and growing old. How else will anybody know what you may need as you're aging yourself and as you take care of your loved one as a caregiver? You stressing all this kind of stuff, but you ain't told nobody what's going on. That's your fault. Nobody's going to step in. Nobody can read your mind. Nobody can just come over one day and say, hey, how you doing? And they know everything just by looking at you. Nobody knows that. You have got to open up your mouth and advocate for yourself and speak for yourself. That's what all this is about. So with that, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get my butt off here. Like I said, I hope this conversation touched somebody today. I put it that way. Right in the brain. I hope it touched you and opened up that light bulb to let you know that you have to start having these hard-ass conversations. And yes, death, dying, and growing old is a hard-ass conversation that you're going to have at some point. I'm tired of seeing people, especially our black folks, die and nobody know what the hell to do. Don't know what a life insurance is. They ain't got no life insurance policy. Now you got to go raise money. You got to do all this stuff. These things should already be done a long time ago. We should never have those situations. But I can't tell you again, like I said, I've seen many a times, family, friends,